Help. I can't stop punching. I have Donkey Kong Bananza. I have played it. It is in my hands, and I've got a real punching problem. At the time of this recording, I've only played it one time on stream, and I have not progressed all that far in the story. And the main culprit for that is that punching is too much fun. I can't stop. Before this game came out, there was a conversation about, will punching be enough? Is destroying environments going to get boring over time? Is it going to be enough to carry the whole game? Like, at any point, is it going to... No, it's perfect. I could do this forever. I am appalled by how fun this is. You could just kind of go at any direction you want, and you could just keep punching, and you're gonna get gold for it. You're gonna find chips, you're going to find fossils, and it just feels phenomenal. I love the thought that years of practice, years of work, years of development went in to create the most Neanderthal, drunken haze gameplay where not even the player knows what's going on. You want to ask me about how Donkey Kong controls? I don't know how Donkey Kong controls. I can't control him. You think you can stop him? Oh, DK, you can't just go and eat another monkey's banana. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You think you can stop me? How are any of you gonna stop me? I am a wrecking ball. I am a machine. And when I am done, I don't know where I am. This keeps happening where after I'm done punching, I'll like look to the horizon and I'll be like, where am I? What was I doing? It's like genuinely difficult to advance the plot because like, you know, it's right over there. I could do it anytime I want to, but I'll do it when I'm done punching. One control thing that I can talk about, the jump button has been swapped. B is not jump, A is jump. I know that's a whole thing. This is definitely a case of, you know, clever design versus muscle memory. Because I get it. I get why they did this. You know, the X button, the top face button, punches up. And B, the bottom face button, punches down. That makes all the sense in the world. Like, that's completely intuitive. But for a lot of people, myself included, it is kind of frying the brain. You know, we've jumped with the B button for years, so like it does sort of mess with our system a little bit, but that's okay because you can change it. Here's the button right here, swap. Great, problem solved. And I'm glad that there are that many options for swapping around your controls as you want them, because DK, you know, as I joked before, is kind of difficult to wrap your brain around controlling. You have a ton of abilities. You have so much more capability than it looks like because you can't stop punching, but there's so much more you can do. Like, I get the feeling that later on in this game, the further that I go, the challenge is really gonna ramp up, and they're gonna start requiring a mastery of all of my capabilities, not just punching. So it's great that you can just kind of tweak Donkey Kong to control as you like him to. You know, Nintendo is a little bit infamous for not letting you do that, so that is a huge upside. What else? The enemies? What enemies? There's a couple of them. Sometimes you see them just sort of wandering around. Punch them. Yeah, I don't know what sort of enemies they're gonna have to give Donkey Kong in order to be a threat. But so far, they're just sort of like nuisances at best. The toughest challenge so far is just restraining myself enough to advance the story. And the story so far is nice. You know, I haven't seen nearly enough to really give a strong opinion on it, but like Pauline, for instance, she's great. She's fully voice acted, which is so, like, that's a lot to take in right there. I think she does a pretty good job. Most lines are fine. Every so often, she'll say something where I'm like, that's a little wonky. It came off a little weird, but For the most part, I think she sounds just fine. I do kind of miss Oddrock, though, I gotta admit. Like, he was a cute little guy. You know, I'm kind of sad that, like, Oddrock just seems to exist specifically for the fake out. I guess there's more to explore with that. Like, how did Pauline end up as Oddrock in the first place? Also, like, Voidco, you know, like, the enemies, like, the main bad guys here, who I've only met, like, one time so far, they seem extremely interested in Pauline. They talk like there's a prior history of some degree, so I'm really interested to see more about that and learn what that's all about. Bananza mode. I only have the one so far. There's like a meter that indicates when you can go into Bananza mode. It doesn't exist because I've not run into a single instance where I wanted to go into Bananza mode and I couldn't. It basically just seems like it's fully charged all of the time. And you thought you were destructive as Donkey Kong? When you turn into Bananza, like the level just disappears. Like, I'd love to talk about the level design and how much work clearly went into making this, like, beautiful landscape. But, like, who cares? I'm gonna wreck it. The banana gems being everywhere. Here's something to discuss. This is so akin to the Super Mario Odyssey problem with the moons that a lot of people have. You know, the bananas are just kind of all over the place. Sometimes you get them for completing specific tasks, but other times you just find them. You know, a lot of times they're hidden, but sometimes you're just kind of wandering around doing your own thing and you stumble across a banana. It's just right there. There are people for Mario Odyssey that say that the moons were given way too free, there were way too many of them, and it stopped feeling special collecting them. Because so many of them, there was just practically no challenge in acquiring them in the first place. Me personally, I never had that problem with Odyssey. Collecting moons just always felt good. Like, whatever disconnect that was being talked about, I just never felt. And so far, it's the same here. Like, I could hear, oh, banana. Like, I'm never gonna get tired of that. And I think the fact that punching always feels fun has a lot to do with the fact that you're constantly rewarded. You know, you're always going to find fossils. You're always going to find treasure chests. You're always going to find gold and banana gems. Like, it's just constantly rewarding to punch. Like, I've never run into an instance where I was punching and I was like, that was a waste of my time. Like, I always got stuff that I could use elsewhere. Like, I want to buy more outfits. Yeah, I want to get more items. Like, there's skill points. Like, that's a whole other, like, thing going on. I feel like I've just scratched the surface so far. And at the same time, I've done so much. And to me, that is what masterpieces feel like. That's exactly how I felt when I played Breath of the Wild for the first time. I explored so much and spent so much time that I didn't even realize I was still on the tutorial. And there's a whole world waiting for me. The same thing's happening here. There's a whole world waiting for me. And I can't wait to get back to it. So, you know what? I think I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna put this video together, and then I'm gonna play more DK Bananza. These are my first impressions. We'll see how I feel the further along that I go. And I hope that if you're playing, you are having just as much fun as I am. It seems like a lot of people so far have the similar opinion, especially with the punching, that like it's so fun and we can't stop. So have at it. Punch to your heart's content. And as for me, I'm going down. See you later.